Hey, what's up? It's Alphalex, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie, doing a movie review. Now, reason why is because I want to make more content for my YouTube channel, but I'm always so busy. You know, I got a full-time job, I got a family. Really rarely find time to make videos on my main channel or on this one. So I'm going to start reviewing movies when I can. Now, the Oscar nominees for Best Picture have come out. There's 10 movies. I'm not going to list them all because I can't remember all their names. But this is like the first year that I can remember where all 10 nominees I have not seen. Yes, even Sinners, which I know is a very popular film. I have not seen this film yet. For the first time, I'm going to try to watch all 10 movies, and I'm going to try to go in blind. I don't know anything about them, like any of them. Sinners, I think, is about vampires. That's about all I know. All the other movies, the other 9 that were nominated for Best Picture, I have no idea, and I want to keep it that way. I'm going to go in completely blind, watch them, and give my honest review on if I thought it was a good movie or, I mean, they're probably all good movies since they're nominated, but I want to see if I liked them personally and what I liked and what I disliked about them. So, first one on the list is Bugonia. I'm going to watch it on Peacock, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to cut back to my thoughts after watching said film. See ya. Alright, so it's now nighttime, and I finally got to finish the movie. I started it during my lunch break, and I got through the opening scene, which, by the way, is a freaking good opening scene, because I was like, I had to go back to work, and I was like, man, I want to watch the rest of this movie, because I just want to see what's going to happen. I'm talking about, like, everything before the title. So I'll say just a quick spoiler-free review. It was great. I liked it, but I also hated it. Or I didn't hate it. I just didn't like the way it made me feel. But it was also like it was a wild ride, right? It's like a dark comedy, which I wasn't expecting, right? I wasn't expecting it to be a dark comedy. I thought it was going to be kind of a serious movie at first, because like I said, I went into this completely blind. All right, so now I'm going to give spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Peacock if you have a subscription. All right, so when the movie opened, you know, you see this guy played by Plemons, amazing actor, and he's talking to his cousin, which you could clearly tell he's like autistic or something. You know, he's got some kind of disability, and so you're like, okay, what is going on here? And then you cut to Emma Stone, who is like, you know, you can tell she's very wealthy, rich, and she's like a CEO of a company or something, and you're like, okay, where is this going? I was getting like, okay, is this movie going to be about like, you know, justification on their end about, you know, like taking out, kind of like a Luigi taking out the United Healthcare CEO situation, or, you know, like the guy, you know, took out Charlie Kirk, that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, are we going to see both? Is this what they're doing? It's just because of the political climate right now? Or we're going to see both sides? You know, what are these guys, like incels, you know? What is their justification, you know? And then, like, how are they going to make these characters that are going to do something horrible to this woman? You know, how are they going to make them relatable, you know? And they're showing them in, like, a small town, which kind of looks like the town I live in, you know, and they're looking around like, what about these people? Oh, well, you know, they're just normal people. They're, you know, they're just hollow, you know. You know, look what they've done to us, right? And so I'm like, okay. But then it's revealed that they believe that this person is an alien. And then you're like, okay, so that's where this is. Now I don't feel so like he's so relatable, because he's clearly a crazy person who believes in crazy, insane conspiracy theories, right? Because before this point, I was thinking, okay, how is this movie going to make this character, make me want to root for him? And why do we dislike this character who's a CEO, right? And the movie does something amazing, which makes me constantly second guess myself, and I'm like, well, I don't know what, like, immediately I'm like, all right, is she actually an alien, or you know, is she, or this guy just crazy? Because he clearly seems like a smart, educated person, you know, but at the same time, like, he seems way overboard with the alien thing. But he's kind of right about maybe her being responsible for the destruction of humanity. You know, he's kind of going somewhere with that theory, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen? Is it going to be that she's actually an alien? They're not going to do that, right? And then so, like, there's points where she's admitting that she's an alien, but you're like, well, I know she's just, you know, saying what she needs to say. You know, Emma Stone's a great actress, but she's also playing someone who may be a great actress, right? You know, she's able to lie and manipulate people. But then there's a couple points in the movie where you're also like, well, actually, I think that she might actually be an alien. You know, she kind of hints at it, you know, like, this is not the kind of human being I want her to become, and you're just like, okay, she's an actual alien, right? Or maybe not. And okay, so the guy who plays the cousin, Dawn, incredible performance, you know. I haven't looked it up. I don't know if he actually has a disability or not. I'm guessing he does, but if he doesn't, he knocked it out of the park. You know, totally believable. But he's just, you could just tell he's just being manipulated by his cousin. He doesn't know what to believe. Like he says later on in the film, he's all I have left. I love him. You know, I didn't expect him to do what he did, though. I didn't expect that, but, you know, it's just a very tragic character who's just caught up in all this. And he's just a likable character. So yeah, there's a couple parts of the movie where I'm like going back and forth, like, you know, when I was like, oh, she's definitely an alien, and the movie wants you to think that, is when, you know, she has the chance to escape, but instead she goes into like a secret room that he has in that basement that he's been keeping her in, and she looks at all the pictures of all the other bodies and stuff of the people he's killed. And she looks at the model of the spaceship and stuff, and you can just tell, you know, okay. So there's two things going on in my head. I'm like, okay, she's either actually an alien, and, you know, she's obviously really upset that he's actually figured it out, or she just she feels like she needs to stop him herself because of how much that because she feels like she's superior to him, and that her simply running away and getting help is beneath her, and that she needs to stop him herself. That's the vibe I was getting. I'm like, they're either going to go either way, but she's incredibly intelligent. She's going to outsmart him, and she knows she can outsmart him, right? And then she starts doing the monologue, you know, when he comes back after, you know, giving his mom antifreeze, dear God. She starts doing the monologue explaining, you know, like why she looks like she's a human, why the aliens are there, and what their goal was. And she's saying this incredible, like, monologue, and I'm like, okay. I still don't know. They just keep me guessing, because I'm like, okay, she's either, this is actually, everything she's saying is actually true, or she's just a really, really good liar, and she's really good at manipulating and coming up with these crazy stories that sound believable to, you know, someone who's crazy like him. So yeah, it really blew my mind when finally the reveal is that, yeah, she's an alien, and that she actually was telling him the truth to a certain point. But that also makes me wonder, was she really going to beam him up there to go into the closet? Like, when she sent him into the closet, she was actually telling the truth about the method on how to get back up to the mothership. I'm wondering if she actually meant for him to go up there, or with her pushing that button that actually caused him to explode, or if, like the paramedic said, it was just a malfunction and he just happened to explode. Who knows? But it's interesting that, you know, Because at that point in the movie, I was like pretty sure she was an actual alien too, because I'm like, man, she's just blowing all these people off. She's walking into the office like nothing's wrong after she's just been missing for a few days, you know. Clearly she doesn't care about any of these humans, and she does need to get back to the mothership, right? But then there's also a moment where you're also second guessing, because when she is counting down with the calculator in her hand and she's backing up like she's going to try to run away, then you're also thinking, okay, no, she's not. This is just a crazy plan that she came up with and it's going to work, right? But yeah, I loved it. The part I didn't like was like how she, you know, she decided to end the human race, which, fine, you know, that's not the part that bothered me. It's just all the imagery at the end with all the people that are, you know, dead, and all the different people from different walks of life. And I get it. It gets the point across that all humans are equal and they all have their, you know, different thing, you know, different things that they believe in, different ages, different parts of their life, different walks of life, but they're all gone, every single one of them. And it just made me sad. It made me really upset to see that. Mainly because there was like kids, you know, and just the thought of like the world ending so suddenly is just very sad. But it's also could happen any day, you know. That would be wild if that did happen, and that's really scary. So this movie's kind of like a scary movie, like a horror movie. I guess you'd call it like a dark comedy. It's kind of a crazy idea to think that, like, what if every like crazy conspiracy theory that you've ever heard of actually turned out to be true? You know, the earth is actually flat. You know, there are actually lizard people, or in this case just aliens controlling the world. And you know, because there's like things that you can believe, right? There's levels of conspiracy that you can go to, but then when you go to like the highest level, like this guy, you know, you think, oh no, he's crazy. But then he actually turned out to be true, and it seemed like he was the only one who had figured it out. And so maybe, just maybe, she was actually telling the truth about bringing him onto the mothership. And part of me kind of wished that she was actually telling the truth about reviving Dawn somehow. Like, I was kind of hoping that we'd see him again at the end. Like, oh yeah, we're going to end the earth, but go back for this one person, you know? And then they just, like, the movie ends with Dawn on the ship with her, and then the rest of humanity just gets taken out. But it's okay, because Dawn made it. He escaped. That would have also been hilarious, but, yeah. But yeah, what'd y'all think about this movie? I gotta say, I'm kind of excited to watch the other movies that have been nominated. I love going into movies sometimes with just not knowing a single thing about them, and just like kind of being like, what is this about? And then as I slowly figure it out, I'm like, okay, all right. So it's fun. Yeah. So the next movie I'm gonna watch is, let me check. Okay, so the next movie I'm going to watch is F1. That's the next one on the list. I'm guessing it's about racing, just based on the title. I know nothing else about it. I don't even know the actors that are in it. I'm going to see where I can find it. I don't know if it's on a streaming service or not, or if it's still in the theater, or maybe if they're going to be showing it in theaters. But I'll try to watch it as soon as possible, because I want to try to get all these reviews out and before the Oscars. So yeah. Thank you if you actually watch this video. Appreciate it.